Hi everybody, this is Dr. Paul Terrio here, and I am here to talk to you about homeopathic immersions. I have had a number of people come and talk to me about homeopathic immersions in the last couple of weeks and so forth. I've mentioned them on several forums, and people want to know, what is a homeopathic immersion? It's a difficult thing to communicate via text, so I decided to communicate this via YouTube video, and I hope you enjoy it. So, an immersion is, to put it very simply, the collective experience of a remedy. You get a group of people together and you basically take a singing bowl, and we will do a live example of this, so you'll see exactly what I mean. Dissolve some or put some water in it and dissolve a remedy into it. Now, if you're familiar with homeopathy, you know that this is, if you drink the water, you will get the remedy. This is how you administer a remedy most of the time. But in this case, we use the singing bowl to ring it. That distributes the remedy over a very wide area, including to a group of people. Sometime, and then after the singing is done, there's a period of quiet time in which you notice yourself, you take heed of what's going on inside you, and you literally experience the remedy. I experience them incredibly deeply when I do this. So this is the basics of it. Normally immersions are taught, you do immersions in a series, so there will be a number of related remedies together. We'll discuss this in a few minutes. Where did immersions start? Well, you can read some of the earliest hints of this process in proving methodologies. Quite often, you'd get a group of people together proving a remedy, like as was done by Hahnemann or many other early provers, and you get a very detailed, in-depth experience of that remedy. You also get this in some of the modern provings where there's a placebo-controlled trial. Now, as an aside, I don't think placebo controls are necessary for provings. It's just not part of, it's just methodologically and epistemologically not a thing, but regardless. You can see that quite often people getting a placebo will often be the ones to have the fullest and most deep experience of those remedy symptoms. This is also what might, a very similar phenomenon. One can also draw a parallel to the trituration movement of Witold Erler. If you don't know, Witold Erler started triturating homeopathics up to the C4 and beyond level in Germany in the 1990s. And he did this in groups. And together they would find this really deep, really moving experience of this remedy. So, but the first person to really do this was Tinus Smits. Tinus had developed Inspiring Homeopathy, so his series of 7 remedies, and there's a book on this called Inspiring Homeopathy if you want to read it. I highly recommend it. And he began teaching it to students more, in the way we teach homeopathy normally, quite intellectually. These are the indications, this is what you'll find, etc. He found that his students didn't really get as good results and often dropped the remedies after a little while with this method. So he did an intense immersion retreat. I believe in his book he refers to it as being about 5 days long, to initiate people into those remedies. It was a very good success. One of the participants in that original immersion course, Kim Kalina, continues teaching this homeopathic immersions with Inspiring Homeopathy and several of their sets of remedies today. Just in May, I went to Kim's course, which was a matrodonal immersion, which was just a wonderful thing to do. I loved it. So here are the benefits of it. It's a very different style of teaching. When you go through a remedy through immersion, you literally experience it. There is a difference between just seeing a remedy and intellectually recognizing the symptoms, and then seeing a person and seeing an individual human being in your clinic before you, and then just recognizing that place they're being. You can't always quite put down why you see them why you're seeing this remedy, but usually, for the most part, it works quite well. Immersion, if you wanted to do it, can also be a very lovely remedy delivery system for patients who are sensitive enough to receive it. So not all patients will go for this, but some who are very, very perceptive will do it. This is also a wonderful method of personally experiencing a remedy without the labor of a trituration. I personally, whenever I want to really deeply experience a remedy, will triturate it for a number of hours. But now I can just do an immersion and in 10-15 minutes create a very basic understanding of this remedy for myself. A full trituration should be done, perhaps in a group and, take at least an hour. But you can come to a very a very good, basic understanding of a remedy just in a very short period of time. And lastly, there's also grid work applications. For those of you who don't know, I do a little grid work. Grid work is basically, placing certain energies on certain particular grid points on the planet that have a larger energetic application, kind of like acupuncture on a planetary scale. With this, you can take a remedy and distribute it to a particular grid point and get the benefit of that remedy at this grid point. I've done it. It's really good. Perhaps I'll make a video on that one day. So, I decided that the best way to do a trituration is to experience one. So I think we should do one right now. I'm going to switch to my live camera, and then we'll experience it together. So, Dr. Paul here. As I mentioned, we are going to take this opportunity in my clinic, do an immersion together. I have never done an immersion via, video before. I've never done a recorded one before. They've always been something I've done live, so I'm not exactly sure how this is going to turn out. This is the age of the internet, however, so I thought we would do a little experiment and see what it is. The remedy we're going to be doing together is plain old-fashioned Arnica montana 10M. This is, I got this remedy from Nadia Bakir from her stash of very old ones. Nadia, if you're listening, I still use those remedies you gave me every single day. Thank you so much. But, so, what we're going to do is we're going to do this together. Now, what I think you all probably should have is a pen and a paper just to write down your experiences. You don't have to have these things, but I find it very helpful to just write down what I'm experiencing. I will post my comments I will post what I experience in the comments to this video. I would really love to hear from you guys if you experienced anything at all. Maybe you won't experience anything. Maybe you'll get like Arnica montanica perfectly. It's hard to say in advance because, again, this has never been done before. But, you all know me. I'm an experimental type. I like running things like this. So, what I'm going to do is I put the remedy in the bowl. This little bowl here, this is a singing bowl. It's full of water, so the remedy kind of encryption goes into the water, and I'm going to sing it. And that frequency of the remedy will go through, get communicated from sound via sound. It will be recorded by the computer, and then we'll play it together. Or it will play on your computer or your phone or what have you when you're playing this video. What I'd like you to do, so right now, just join me. Go in and just have a moment to center yourself. So just take a few deep breaths in. And I want you to pay attention to what you're feeling and thinking. See how that changes after the influence of the remedy. So, let's begin. you still haven't experienced this remedy, I'm going to end the video now. I hope to hear from you guys and your experiences with it. Thank you very much for joining.